I did not forget about y'all. One person, two people watching. Let me get a second window here open. Um, how's it going? Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Let's see. Let me open up the second window because then what I can do is I can actually. Oh, that's not what I want. Nope, that's not what I want. Give me a second here. I'll switch this account. I'm gonna pull up my video here. Right October. All right, here we go. Hey, what's up, Papa Shoot? Let me go grab my coffee, man, and we'll start up here. Freaking flies! Don't make me kill you. Don't make me kill you. You're good. All right, I'll be right back. Go ahead and shut that door. Clean my mess off here. I got all these. This table's dirty. All right, let's go. Let's get hooked up here. Let's be professional. All right, let me know if we can get a 5x5. You can hear me loud and clear. Let me know. If not, I can adjust this dang stings table up here. Hang on. Sorry about that. Hope you're doing well. Oh, man. Life is good, man. Life is good. I don't have any complaints. And it wouldn't do any good to complain to anybody, right? Let's see. All right. I hope you can hear me loud and clear. I will be looking at the camera and the computer here, so I don't have to put my glasses on. So, cheers to you. 5x5 sounds good. Great. Awesome. Thank you, brother. Yeah, I have no agenda. Nothing going on. Just thought I'd get up, check in with everybody, see what's new, see how y'all are surviving in the post-apocalypse America that we're living in, right? None of this stuff makes sense, man. None of this. What's going on, Nomadics? Doing all right, sir? I hope you're doing well. The world doesn't seem to be making any more sense to me today than it was when this whole new administrative office took over, right? We live in a bizarro world. The dude should definitely not go for re-election. I just don't see that happening. But if he does, better for, I guess, the other side, right? Better for us. So, grandkids coming over to visit today, so I thought I'd jump on here early. It stormed like crazy here last night, so there won't be any knife throwing as far as I know. Plus, I did a lot yesterday. Sometimes I go on these kicks. Once I start on the can, I want to do another one and another one, and I think I burned myself out. So I may have to take a chill pill on the knife throwing cans for a little while, at least uploading videos here. So yeah, I had a seizure a day. Oh man, dang. Did you have, was there somebody around to attend to you that when you had it? Or, I know some people have those episodes and then it's like they're just laying on the floor for hours until somebody finds them. So hopefully somebody was there with you. And I hope you're doing better today, brother. Papa Shoot, how you doing, man? You've been throwing, you've been airbowing. Yeah, you don't want to mess that shoulder up anymore. Yeah, definitely not. You know, I just, I do all this for fun, obviously. But then I have to tell myself, dude, stop. Like, come back in a couple, give it like 15, 20 minutes. So I'm good, but I know that when I start like wearing on it, like I start doing and doing, it's like, oh, I'm starting to feel like I need to stop. Because then what happens is I either will pull a back muscle, right? And that's never fun. In my lifetime, I've had two spasm muscles pulled, and it's miserable to sleep at night because you get cramped up and locked up and there's nothing you can do. And that is the worst pain that I have felt. Because there's no numbness, right? It's not like going to the dentist's office and then just numb it up and like I don't feel it until afterwards. So yeah, I definitely don't want to do that. Hey, what's up, Jared? Good morning to you. Good morning to you as well, sir. So just jumping on here while it's quiet still, the calm before the storm. I actually wanted to go to the shotgun range today and go shoot some clays, bust some clays, but yeah, I've got my 60 shots in yesterday. Today rainy, so no shooting today. Yeah, give yourself a break. You do it and you're like, okay. I mean, even like when I go to the gun range, I'm looking at, when I go and shoot clay targets, I'm looking at 65 to 75 rounds that I'll do, and then after that I have to stop because I don't want to, like, take out my shoulder or whatever, and in the sense like it's just hurting or whatever, right? And it's funny is I'm left-handed thrower, right? I do everything left-handed, right? Everything left-handed, but when I shoot, I'm a right-handed shoot. I don't know why. It's just the way it is. I have a cousin who shoots left-handed, right? And he does everything with his left hand. And I don't know why I started it. And I can't remember. I don't know, I guess since I was a kid, I've always shot this way, right? It feels better. But when I throw, it's left-handed, so. Anyway, go figure. And then the other thing is, like I tell myself, it's like there's no prize at the end of this, right? Like as cool as the video looks, as cool as it is to pin a can, I've done the rings before, which is, I hate it, right? Rings are just my kryptonite. It'll take me 50, 60 shots sometimes to get the stupid ass ring. And I'll get so close at nicking it. And if I do the rings, it just kills my shoulder. Like, it's not worth it because the next day there's no prize, there's no consolation. I still pay for the same cup of coffee that I paid for yesterday before I threw knives. So it's like, I have to remind myself, I'm doing this for fun. I'm doing this because I enjoy it. It's a stress reliever. There's no prize at the end of it, right? Even if I did 3 cans back to back in a row, there's no prize. There's no consolation for it. So you have to remember, right eye dominant. Yeah. And this is my lazy eye. My left eye, I know it looks opposite on the camera, but my left eye is my lazy eye. So if you're really looking at me, there's no way to like really tell, but like if I'm looking straight in the camera, this eye is like droopy eye. So I have astigmatism in this eye on my glasses, and this is my right eye dominant. But I always think left hand is my dominant side. But now when it comes to eyesight, like my right eye is my better eye. I shoot right-handed, but I throw left-handed. But I'm sure this is my eye that I look at the most. So anyway, I was thinking the same at Jared. Let me see. Yeah, so that's what it is. So, but it's all for fun, and you just have to make every day count, guys. I remind my cousin, keep your head up. He started another job, and he's one of those guys that he just can't hold a job down. And I told him, I was like, dude, he's like a year and a half, 2 years old. I said, dude, everybody has a boss, and my boss has a boss. And there's things that my boss's boss tells him that he doesn't like, and he has to pass it on, the orders down to me. And so I have to remind myself, don't take it personal. It's nothing personal. Just do the job. I don't like it. I don't want to do it. I don't agree. I think there's a better way. But nobody's asking me. Just do your job. You're getting paid to do the job. Because then when he's not working, he's complaining he's not making any money. And I'm like, dude, You're never going to be where I'm at. You're never going to be where you should be. It's not about being where I'm at, right? I'm not trying to compete with Jared or Papa or Nomadics. I'm never going to be where you guys are at, all right? You guys could be up here and I could be down here. Who knows, right? Financially or just living wise, happiness, right? I'm never gonna, it's not about me being at your level or your level. I can be inspired to be at your level, but it shouldn't be that. It should be where you need to be. So this is what I'm trying to tell him. You need to be where you need to be at, or you should be, which means you got to make money. You're not gonna be where you need to be if you're not making any money because you have no job. And I told him, I said, dude, just do your job. You may not like it, you may not want to do it, just do it. They're paying you to do that job. If you don't do it, they're going to pay somebody else. You might as well be making money, you know. And he always tells me, same as, okay, cool. Everybody has, I guess, a dominant eye, right? But you know that's the thing is like he's been able to skate by this whole time when his dad was alive because he was his checkbook when it's like, oh son, you don't like the job, just quit. And he would hold him through until he found another job. So there was no pressure, like get up, yeah, go look for a job, pop. Be days, be weeks, maybe even months, and then he would go get a job for a little while just to get his old man off his back. And then he's like, oh, they let me go. But then he'd tell me a different story and be like, no, they pissed me off, man. What happened was I want to go on smoke break, or I told him I need this weekend off because we're gonna go hunting or we're gonna go, do whatever. Because maybe his dad wanted to take a trip. His dad was retired, wasn't pulling in the money, but he had some money saved up and he had some money put away. But it was that whole thing where it's like, I want to go on vacation with my pop, but they won't let me off. He's like, okay, you won't let me off? I quit. And they're like, huh? And I always laughed at that because I thought, man, I wish I could do that. But come the end of the year when I'm able to retire, I won't have to worry about like, you know what, this job's not for me. Thank you for the opportunity. Today's my last day. But anyway, I told him also, he's working today. I was like, dude, just do your job. Just go in, do your job. Be the best at it. Go home. You're getting paid, man. Life is not glamorous. It's not going to be about, you got the best job in the world and everything is good and you can do what you want to do when you want to. It doesn't work like that, So tell me if you disagree with me. So luckily I don't have to work today and I'm able to just relax. And my wife's like, we're going to clean up the house. I'm like, all right. Of course, pick up for, I don't care if the house is a little messy. I'm like, it's just our son and our grandkids and his wife, and I'm not trying to impress them. And plus the kids don't care, but I want the wife to be happy. Don't want her to be all, I get my weekends off too. Yeah, hey, what's up, Warsaw? What's going on, brother? My youngest son is like that. He won't find a job before quitting. Yeah, that's the thing. That's our generation, Papa Shoot, is that I always, and it was so stressful, man, to be working at your job, and then on top of that, it's like a part-time job. The amount of time submitting applications, looking for jobs, going for interviews, just to get another job before I let this other job go. And that's the thing, is they know they have that backbone to fall back, like, okay, well, I don't like this job, so I'm gonna quit it, and then I'll look for another job. It's like, okay, I always tell the kids this, how would you make it if we weren't here? If you weren't living here, and I truly think that they know the answer, but they're just like, I don't know. They don't want to know the answer. They don't want to know the truth. I'm like, how would you make it? How would you pay your rent, utilities, food, gas? How would you do that if we weren't here? Like, explain that to me. How does that work? Because I've never done that. I've never been able to pull that off. So tell me how that works. And they're like, and it's just dead silence. I'm like, exactly my point. Get another job before you quit this job. So luckily, most of the kids do that. I think there's like one that, no, all the kids have done that, as far as I know. Maybe one, but anyway. Okay, So you said my youngest son is like that. He won't find a job before quitting the one he has. He'll, he's almost out of opportunities in our town. That's the thing, is like when you burn your bridges, like especially in a small town, small to medium town, everybody knows everybody. Everyone's gonna talk about, oh yeah, he worked over there for 2 weeks. Oh, he only lasted there one day. Oh, Jim gave him a chance too. He didn't last but a week there. And oh, Peggy Sue offered him a job and he didn't show up. I'm not saying that about your kid. I'm just saying, for example, in small towns, they know they will call you out and they got your number. So, and then it's like, then what do? You got to go to the next town over just to find a job. So now you put yourself out even further. Like I could have just went down the street 5 minutes away. Now I got to go 20, 30 minutes to the next town to find a job that I'm going to probably end up losing. And then I'm going to do that until that burns out. It's like there's no incentive to say long term, think long term. And I get it. We live in a different age. Kids are like, no, I don't want to spend 20 years at one job. But at least invest into it enough as a stepping stone to get you to the next one, right? And then you get to that level, then you go to the next level and so forth. I've always, and again, I know it's a different world, but like my mindset has always been long term. Like, where's this job taking me? Do they offer retirement? Can I move within the organization, right? You know, if I left, could I come back? I think about all that, right? Because there was no backbone. There was no plan B. It was like plan A all the way in life. Plan A is the only option in my life. There is no plan B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P. You know, there's nothing else. It's plan A. That's it. I deserve some time off. I was born and raised in the 90s. People don't know what real hard work is. They don't. Or so, if you didn't work, you didn't get to eat. People don't understand this. You're right. I agree with you 100%. Everything requires money. Yep. We have about 30,000 people in our town. So kind of like a medium. Yeah, kind of medium. I guess I would say small town, if you're talking about a small town that's efficient, you're looking at, 7,000-8,000 minimum, all the way up to like 12, 13, right? Small town. And then the next level is what you said, 30,000. Now, small town, like hole in the wall, you blink and you pass that up on the highway, back roads, yeah, you're looking at a couple hundred population. And I've been through towns in West Texas like that. It was like population 688 or population 500. I'm like, there's just a few towns in the main road, right? And they don't have a post office. They don't have. I've been through one town where there is, and it's called Art, A-R-T. It's a little small town, and I believe they have a post office. It's so funny because it's like, it's like population, I don't know, 78 or 200 maybe. No, it's like a real low number. I'm like, man, like you blink and you're past it, like literally like 2 or 3 houses, and it's like you're done. I'm sure there's, because it's in the country, I'm sure there's back houses behind, fields and woods and all that. But in the main stretch of through Art, Texas, there's like nothing. In fact, let me see what that is. I'm gonna look it up for you just because I'm curious now. Because I've been through there many times going through Art, Texas, population. Let's see. Okay, it says, okay, this was back in 2016, I'm sure. It says Art is a unincorporated community in Mason County, Texas, United States. According to the Handbook of Texas, the highly dispensed community had an estimated population of 18 in 2016. That was the first thing that pulled up. So that to me is like you blink and you pass it up. So that's crazy. Yeah. But I love little small towns with a higher population than that you can go through. It's like, it's so neat because where were we at? Oh, when we went to Marfa, Texas, And I love West Texas, all the West Texas, and I'm not talking about the city of West. There is a city when you pass Waco, it's called West Texas. Not that, I'm talking about all the little West Texas towns. I see somebody walking in the backwoods over there. In the West Texas, like Buda, all the way up through San Angelo, just West Texas, like all those small towns. You always, if you go into a gas station or to a diner or even a Dairy Queen, there'll usually be a bunch of like old guys, right? They're just sitting around. They're just like, yep, just talking. They're sitting there just drinking their coffee, conversation. I love that. I mean, you don't see that in the big cities, right? I always get a kick out of it, right? And went to Marfa, and we were leaving Dairy Queen, and there was a bunch of guys right there, and one of the guys goes, "Go Longhorns." He told me like that, and I just told him like that. And I said, "How you doing?" He goes, "I'm doing good, sir." And then the other guys, and I waved to them, and then all the guys are like, "Howdy, howdy, have a good day, sir." And I'm like, "You too, sir." It's just, common courtesy, respect. It's the South. I know Texas, people don't think of Texas as the South, so we're more Southern hospitality, right? We're not part of the South. That's more of those other, right? I guess back when the unions and all that, but anyway, I'm not a history buff, but you know what I'm talking about. Okay, let's see what Papa Shoot said. We have about 30,000 people in our town, so kind of okay. Always work your way up the ladder. Yep, there is no going backwards for me, but now I'm disabled and retired. Now you can enjoy it and enjoy it as much as you can, Papa Shoot. Says we're the biggest town in our area. Everything else is our vicinities are less than 6 or 7,000. Wow. The thing is that, and this is the thing that breaks my heart, and I know you can't stop people from coming into towns, right? But the population that continues to come to cities around me, towns in your area and across the state is like all the people that come in from other countries, right? And I get it. Everybody wants to come here, opportunity, jobs, make money, the freedoms that we have, right? But it's almost to the point where it's like, now we have too many people here from all over the world, right? And you can't regulate, you can't stop that. You could, but then you'd be considered a communist country, right? Because you're like, oh, you locked up the borders and this and that. But I'm like, you want to preserve your land, you want to preserve your communities, your towns. You want to preserve that because once that population has taken over, once that you're so populated, right, it takes away the beauty of like, man, it's so quiet out here, it's so peaceful. Once people start buying properties and building homes and then apartments and then the town is growing, it's good to some level. But yeah, as an American citizen, I feel, yeah, and it's and the thing is, Warsaw is like you, me, other people, we can't stop progress, right? It's been time and time again in history books. Things are going to change, right? Things are going to grow, things are going to develop. But it's like, at what point do we ever, I kind of wish that our forefathers would have put something in the Constitution that says, hey, foreigners can't buy land unless you become a citizen, right? There's limitations on towns and cities, so like keep that preservation of small town USA. Now it's like, it's just crazy. It's just building and building. Even in my town too, it's just like, when does it stop? It just keeps coming and coming. It's just, and then in the back of my mind thinking, okay, it's progress. You're not going to stop it, right? You're not going to prevent it. But it's like, it's not what it used to be. It's not what it once was. And how do you get the new generation to see that? They don't, because they're like, oh, we got a Target, yay! We got a Starbucks, yay! And it's just like, it's ruining our town. The states don't give it to citizens freedoms. Yeah, you're right. Freedom is not free, man. It's a whole different America. So I don't know, man. I turn off the news now. I watch the news, but not at the level that I did before. I don't even listen to talk radio because that just irritates me, and then it's not good for your health, right? To get, you get your blood pressure goes up, and then you're always angry and fussed. Like I try to cut out as much as I can from that's going to irritate me in life, that's going to frustrate me in life, that's going to cause me health issues. I just try to cut that out. Like, I don't need that. I'd rather drink my coffee, enjoy the peace and quiet, throw some knives, enjoy the progress of my life, and just keep going forward, keep moving forward, keep growing, right? Keep bettering my life. I think there's a mosquito. The mosquitoes are starting to come out, and right, it just rained, so of course there's some bugs and the flies are starting to come around. Everybody's relying on the government, and that is the problem. Everybody's relying because they don't want to work. They're like, I got mental illness, so I need a check from the government. That's what's breaking the system too. All the people that are now claiming disability because of whatever reason, that didn't put into the system long term, are now cashing in. They're finding ways to get money from the government. And so instead of that money, like for Social Security, all that money is just going out to people that haven't worked long term, that haven't put into the system. I mean, for those that don't understand how retirement works, let me give you a crash course 101. You and me are paying into the system now, hopefully for 20, 30 years, right? Hopefully. Longer, maybe, for some. When I retire, when I'm eligible, when they say you have met the age to retire and I decide to retire, then that next generation is paying for my Social Security. And when they retire, that next generation, that is the revolving wheel of how retirement works. For anyone that doesn't understand that doesn't work if people that are paying or should be paying in now for the people that are retired end up retiring now or get on disability and don't put in for those 10, 15, 20, 30 years, and they just started working and they got injured or whatever, and now they're collecting it. It's like they've only put a few years in, or maybe they just never really work, and the first year they worked, they got hurt, and now they're collecting for life. And it's like, that's breaking the system, and people don't understand that. Or maybe they do and they just don't give a damn. Cheers, yep. Give it another 6 years, I feel like America could possibly. Man, in 6 more years, dude, let's see. If we don't count this year, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55. I'll be 55 in 6 more years. 55 years old. Yeah. Things come and go, man. Things come and go. And like, even when it comes to knife throwing, I've seen a lot of the, I call them the OGs, or the people that were throwing before me. They're making less videos. They're not posting. They're not even coming to the events like they used to. I mean, everything runs its course, right? And that's the thing with the circle of life, is that what I grew up on, how I saw the world, is not how the world is running today. And so it makes no sense to use that platform to run the world the way that I remember it, because it doesn't fit, right? The components for how life used to be, to try to put that in today's mindset, this generation of kids, they're not having it. They're not doing it. They're telling their bosses, I'm not doing that. I'm not coming into work. Find somebody else. I don't care. It's just a different mindset. And so they are essentially breaking the system. They are breaking what we once knew it to be. They're changing that right before our eyes, and it's sad, and there's nothing we can do to stop it other than, try to teach our kids, our grandkids, but I always say this: when that next generation comes along, that woke 3.0 next generation, the ones that have been bitching now and protesting within the last 2 or 3 years, ever since we had that zombie virus, they're gonna have a rude awakening when that next generation comes along and says, everything that you lived, how you were taught, everything you believed in, change that, right? You know, it's kind of like if you believe in two sides, right? This is side and this side, and then you get older, and that's all you've known, right? And then the next generation says, no, now there's 3, 4, 5 categories of this, whatever this is. And you're like, that's not how I was raised. That's not how I was taught. It's hard for me to comprehend that. Wait till that next generation comes along. Excuse my language, they're fucked. Like they're going to be like, and you know, I've heard this a few times where like, I can't wait for the old generation to die. That the old mindset, it's just, oh, I'm thinking, okay, keep that same energy. Keep that same energy so when that next generation comes along and they wish that y'all die, they're going to be, what? Or they say, hey, there's no more 4 or 5 categories. Now there's 10 categories. You know, cat, dog, you know, whatever. You wait, you're going to wake up to a rude awakening. And that's the thing is like, if we just keep the same rules and we keep the same lifestyle, right? But we better our lifestyles, but we still have structure and we don't deviate from that. Everybody will play by the same rules. Everybody will live by the same rules. Everybody will comply by the same rules, right? When you take generations that have lived a certain way all their whole life and then you expect them to change and they don't respond the way you want them to, why do you think that is? But someone that is in their early 20s, mid 20s, they don't understand that because they haven't lived the life that we've lived, right? They're not where I'm at now. Give it more time. Give it another 15, 20 years when they get married, have kids, get a divorce. They're on their second, third career. They're having to figure this shit out. There's no mom and dad to back them up financially. There's only a plan A. There is no plan B. And then they're going to think, now I understand what my mom and dad were saying. Now I understand why they were so frustrated with us. Because now I'm dealing with this new generation. They just fucking piss me off. Because now they want 10 categories of whatever it is that we were bitching about. We wanted to go from 2 categories to 5 categories or 6. Now these motherfuckers want 15, 20 categories. And my mind can't keep up with that. You know, I can't wait for that shit, you know? Yeah, same here, Warsaw, same here. For a very short time, I did not vote until we got to Obama, and something inspired me like, yeah, I've never voted my whole life. I'm gonna vote, and I voted again. And then after that, I was like, fuck this. I'm like, no, this is not how I see things. But yeah, I know I got you. Very, very rude awakening. Very rude, you know. And I think, okay, let me sip on this real quick. I will say this truth. Hey, what's up, Dad? On the tubes, totally, dude. I'll say this about you, what you said, Papa Shoot. Very rude awakening. Damn it, I'm gonna go squirrel here. Let me think. Very rude awakening. I had something on the tip of my tongue. Let me think here for a second. Didn't want to say that, but yes, Papa Shoot, this is exactly what my example was trying to allude to without saying it. It's ridiculous, you know, and I'm like, I have no issue with however you want to live your life, right? If it's high, low, this way, that way, whatever, I don't care. The thing that the issue comes into play for me is when you push that agenda, when you push that lifestyle on other people, that's not cool, right? And I always say this as an example. If I said, hey, I believe in this, I preach it, I live by it, I sleep right next to it, I carry it, I'm all about 2A every day, all day, 24/7, go to the restroom, whatever, right? And I say, that's my choice, right? But I also say, I'm gonna push that idea on you, and everybody needs to carry that. I don't have any desire to push that on anybody. You wanna carry. If you wanna own. If you don't wanna touch that, if you don't want to be part of that society or whatever, I'm cool with that. That's the difference, is I'm not pushing that on anybody. We live in America. You have the right and the choice to choose what you want. But that's not how they see it. There is no option. It's this is the way you have to do it because we demand it, and we want to live in this world with this mindset, and we want to see these ideas everywhere, and we want everyone to accept it. And that is the difference between today's generation and my generation, right? I'm not talking about the good old boys back in the day when it was, and a lot, and I'm using this for example, but a lot of people say good old boys, or when they think good old boys, it's like white Americans. Only the good old boys can get the best jobs. Only the good old boys can go to the. I'm not talking about that generation's done. I'm talking about my generation mindset is you work hard, you put your time in, you earn your keeps, you earn your stripes, right? Right. But you have the right to do this or that. You don't want to ride dirt bikes? Don't ride them, right? You don't want to own this? Don't own them. Nobody pushes that on me, and I don't push my beliefs on anybody. You do whatever the hell you want to do, and you stay on your side of the fence, and I'll stay on my side of the fence. You want to grow a garden, right? And I want to throw knives. You do you, I do me. I stay on my side of the fence. As long as whatever it is not impeding or imploding on my side and causing my world to change, you do what you want to do on that side. That's your business, right? As long as it doesn't affect me in the sense like I smell it, it's affecting my way of life. Oh, big old boo. You do what you want to do, and that's not the mindset today. Today's is like, if I like it, you have to like it. If I jump, you got to jump, right? If I paint my face, you got to paint your face, right? Why would you want to live in a world like that, right? Why would you want to live in a world where it's just everyone looks the same, everyone dresses the same, everyone drinks the same cup of coffee, everybody eats the same plate? That's boring, right? And you can't get them to see that. And that's the sad part. Let me look at some of these messages here. Just dropped in for a minute, heading to the gym. Okay, brother. Adios, amigo. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I'm not going to be here for 3 hours, so I'm only jumping on here for the first hour. It's 42 minutes. Yeah, I'll stay here for a full hour, and then I'll shut it down. Let's see. Papa Shoot, I did not forget. Very rude awakening. And I totally forgot, brother. I totally forgot what I was going to say. I should have just said it then. Let's see. Keep children out of the... Yeah, exactly, Warsaw. That's the biggest thing right now, is that people are starting to get really pissed, because it's like, your kids are your kids. However you want to raise them, whatever, that is your thing. When you have people, when you have society, you have institutions, you have schools, cross that line, that is the issue, right? And some people don't understand it. A lot of people do, but some people don't even understand it. It's like, you can't do that. To do what your standards are, which is to teach, English, math, economics, history, science, all that stuff. Teach the kids that. Beyond that, leave your personal opinions, leave your party affiliation out of the loop, leave your opinions out of the loop. Just teach the kids and let them develop their mindset of where they want to be or do, or be in the world. Let them figure that. Let their parents guide them, right? Patriot, keep the kid. Yep. So it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know, we're just, as a society, we're just lost. As a society, it's like, and it affects at all levels, man. It affects not just the home front, but work, society, where you're being out and about, eating. It's hard to get away from that, right? I mean, like when we went to West Texas, we went to Big Bend National Park. Reception wasn't that good, and that's fine, but like it was just away from away at all. I mean, you could see the stars. It was dirt, rural country, rural just dirt area, right? Desertish type, a lot of rocks, dirt, sand. And you meet so many people that have moved from like across the country because they're like, I wanted to get away from the hustle and bustle. I didn't like the big city. We were getting burned out. We wanted to work for ourselves. We wanted a slower, low-key life. And even then, that area was growing that we went to from what it used to be. But I see why people want that simple life, was it city life and everything around the news, the media, you know, society. It's very fast paced and it becomes overwhelming for a lot of people, right? And then people get anxiety and anxious and all that other stuff. So, what's up, Keith? What's going on, brother? Yeah, it is concerning, you know, but not to the point where like I'm gonna let it ruin my day, because I know that as long as I wake up, we need to, yeah, yes. Well, I say we need to clean. She's texting me. But anyway, I don't. I'm gonna wrap it up here. But let me just say a few words, and that is, every day you wake up, you are blessed, regardless if things are going your way, regardless if you woke up a millionaire. You are alive, and everything that I look at here in my yard that belongs to me, it won't matter when I die, right? It won't matter that, you know, I don't own this or don't have this or that. And in fact, I need to get rid of a lot of shit, I think. So, but I'm alive, right? I'm here, and whatever I own, I'm blessed with, right? And it's either going to be passed down to my kids or they're going to get rid of it and sell it. It's just a circle of life. I'm not going to change the world. I'm here for a good time. I'm not here for a long time, as George Strait says, you know. And you just have to make the best of it, and tell your kids you love them, teach them the best, and tell them, hey, what are you going to do when I'm not here? I mean, you know, life is hard for my cousin. Don't get me twisted. Don't get it twisted. He struggles, and I'm sure he's thinking, shit, I should have started working. I should have, you know, I shouldn't have slacked off so much. Now my dad's not here and my brother's not here. He says he feels like he has no one. He has some other siblings, but it's like your backbone's gone now. And it's like, my grandpa's always taught me to be independent. And he would tell me the same thing I'm telling y'all. It's just that, what are you gonna do when I'm dying? And I told him, I said, Grandpa, just know that when you pass away, I'm good. I'm fine. Don't worry about me. You raised me right. You taught me what I need to learn. You know, I got retirement in the bag. I just got to make it there, God willing. Nothing happens. I said, but I'm good. You did right. You taught me right. Not to mention that I listened to him. But don't worry about me. That is my concern for this next generation. My kids is like, I think I did good, but you still worry a little bit as a parent. So anyway, cut the news off. Don't listen to the news much. Don't believe anybody here. You know, Canadian Prepper pumps out so many videos. I like the dude. I don't know him personally, but I think he could cut back on some of those videos. But I get it. He's pushing his store. He has to make money, right? He gave up his career to open his business, so he has to be able to sell it. He has to advertise, and that means make videos. But nothing's going to happen the way we think it's going to happen. SHTF is not going to happen in the sense that, you know, it's going to happen like on the movies. It hasn't happened yet. Not saying it's not going to happen, but it's not going to happen the way we think, when we think. You don't want to look back on your years like, man, I spent all those years on YouTube. I spent all those years worrying about this and that. And here I am, you know, 50, 55, 60, 65, and nothing has happened. And now I have all this shit, and I could have been doing other stuff. Live, prepare, but live. Because at the end of the day, all the shit you own, it's not going to matter when you're dead. Most of your kids are not going to want it. What's up, Twisted Metal? Good morning, brother. Good morning to you. Yeah, hope everyone's doing. Yeah, I wanted to go to the gun range today and freaking weather. It freaking stormed like a mother last night. Everything's wet. Plus, I got my grandkids coming in. But anyway, I'll wrap this up and just say this: stay blessed. Say your prayers. Eat your vitamins, like Hulk Hogan says. Live life. Be kind to each other. Make the best of it. No, you don't know all the answers. I don't know all the answers. Keep learning from other people. Be silent. Stay reserved. You don't always have to give your opinion. You don't always have to correct. When you see something, let people figure it out. That's part of living, right? And just drink your coffee, man. Just enjoy life. I'm enjoying seeing my kids progress and now say things that I've been waiting for them to say, like, you're getting it now. You're getting it. Life is short. Life is precious. Funerals remind us to live. Funerals remind us that we're still here and that we still have an opportunity to make a difference, that we have an opportunity to do something with our lives. One of my kiddos had a classmate who died. It really hit her. And I said, death reminds us to live. Death reminds us that we're still here among the living and we need to live. So anyway, you guys have a good one. Thanks for visiting. Got 8 people watching. It says 5 likes. Perfect crowd. I don't need 100 people here. I don't need I don't need this to be so many comments I can't keep up. Red. Remember a old saying from somewhere. Go ahead and finish up. Warsaw. You said red, right? Amen, brother Livy. Stay to the fullest. You got to, man. You got to. I'm not gonna be throwing knives forever. I'm not gonna be here forever. Sometimes I still think about, is it time to shut it down on YouTube? But I still enjoy it every once in a while. So we have our birth year and our death year, and there's our dash. Yeah, use your dash. Amen, brother. All right. Adios. Take care. Stay blessed. Do something good for somebody. Do a good deed. If it means buying a cup of coffee, say, I got you a cup of coffee, man. You want a donut? I got you. Be kind, man. Exactly. All right. Adios, man. I got to go clean up. So talk to you later. Red out.